Hello everyone, my name is Bhavesh Chakor and today's my video topic is the difference between singleton class and static class in Java. First, let's look at what is the singleton class and static class in brief. Uh, in object-oriented programming language, the singleton class is a class which can have only one object at a time. That is a single instance of a class at a time. After a first time, if we try to instantiate the singleton class again, then the new variable will point out to the same first variable. So what is the purpose of this singleton class? So the primary purpose of this class is to restrict the limit of number of objects to only one. Then second purpose is to avoid the memory wastage, because only one object is created, the memory on heap is saved. The third is the one instance we created is can be used multiple times. And the fourth purpose is in the database connection or JDBC, the singleton is useful where the multi-threading is not possible. Now there are some key points to be keep in mind where when creating a singleton class. The first one is there should be only there should exist only single instance of this singleton class. Then second is we need to make that instance public or global. For that we have to do the two things. First, make the all constructor to the private, and second, create one static method that will returns the reference of that instance. Now let's see what is the static class. The static class is always a inner class. The outer class cannot be a static. Now the static class is a class which can be used or can be accessed without instantiating the outer class. So all the elements of this class we can be accessed without creating an object. Now there are some differentiating point between the singleton and the static. The first one is a runtime polymorphism. In static class, the runtime polymorphism is not possible because it contains the static method which are evolved at the compile time. Whereas in the singleton class, the runtime polymorphism is possible just like other normal classes. Then second difference is the implementation of interface. The static class does not allow the interface implementation, whereas the singleton allows the implementation of this interface. The third parameter is the method parameters. In static class, creating an object or instance of the static class and passing that object as a parameter to method is a very worthless or not useful idea. Whereas in singleton class, as it is object, we can pass that object as an argument to any method. Then next difference is the serialization. In static class, the methods are it consists of the static method, because of that we cannot serialize them. In singleton class, we can serialize the singleton methods or attributes to maintain its state. Then next difference is the memory allocation. As the static class contains the static method which are evolved at the compile time, so the memory is allocated for the static class is on the stack memory. Whereas just like other normal objects, the object for object or this or the singleton class, the memory is allocated on the heap memory. The next major difference between these two of them is the performance and efficiency. In static class, as there is no need to create any object or instance of a class, so the performance and efficiency point of view is static class is much better than the singleton class. Now the singleton class must be used where there is a design concern, because its efficiency is very low. Now the major point is when to use the static class and when to use the singleton class. The singleton class, the static class is to be used when you need to create a multiple static variables or the methods, and you need to use them whenever you provide input, and the second is when you don't need a runtime polymorphism. At that time only the static class should be used, whereas the singleton class is to be used when you need to create only single instance of a class. Then you need to avoid the memory wastage, or you need a connection of the database connection or a JDBC connection where multi-threading is not possible at that time. And the last one is when there the solution for your problem is strictly wanted for the object oriented programming. At that time the singleton class is to be used, and that's it with the difference between the singleton class and static class in Java. Thank you.